G'day, everyone. It's Archangel here, all things Sydney. If you just joined me over from the Instagrams, thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. You already know what this is about. If some of you that joined, we'll just say g'day. Who have we got here? We've got Ducky. G'day to you, Ducky. Joey's World. Oh my goodness. Joey's... Okay. G'day to you guys. Joey, big shout out to you. I thought that was an excellent, and I mean excellent, oh gosh, I was in tears. I was absolutely in tears this morning. I watched that this morning when I got up. The happy birthday to Donna. Keith. I don't know what to say to that. I shouldn't be laughing. But it did make it brightened, you know. Oh God, no emotions here, no emotions. It brightened my morning. It really did, seeing such wonderful tributes from a lot of people, that familiar faces, and then and then yours popped up, and I was in hysterics, absolute hysterics. And I'm sure Donna and everyone else that viewed it would have loved it. I don't know about Keith, but good on you, Keith, for being a great sport. I'm sure I've got my heart, 50-50 there going. I don't know if you knew it or not, but good on you for being such a good sport. But welcome to you. It's Joey's World. And Joey, Keith, Lisa, much loves and hugs to you guys from afar as well as much loves and hugs to Go Fish Office. Welcome to the stream. Who else have we got here? T-Town Mary Ellen, good to see you again too. Everyone else is also watching in the background there. Marley, welcome to the stream as well. Thank you so much for joining. So we'll get straight into it. I'm out exercising. I can do that. I'm in the middle of the park right now. There's no one. Technically, there's no one. One person ran past me before. But we are in the middle of winter. We're in lockdown. Some of you have seen the news already overseas. And let me just press this button. I need to press that button. That would help. And all those watching on in the background, I can see you there as well. Let me just do this. As we know, Sydney's in a bit of trouble at the moment, as is half of Australia for that matter. And whilst this is not supposed to be a negative thing, this is being realistic. I always say Archangel, all things Sydney. And I say always bringing you the latest, the greatest and the best that Sydney has to offer. Unfortunately, I'm unable to do that at the moment. And fair enough, really, in some respects. There were so many things planned, so many things have been postponed. And I'll suggest, just give me a second, sorry, just push on there. And I'll suggest as well that the things that have been postponed won't go ahead. And we've got to be realistic about these sort of things. Sydney had a record number of cases today. It was 172, I believe. Anyone in the chat willing to correct me, more than go ahead, go for it. 61 of those cases were out in the community, and those numbers are growing every day. And it's gotten to the point where, whilst I won't identify, I mean, some of you already know, other people in the chat here, you've all said g'day to each other before, but this has reached not only to the heart of Sydney, but into the outer suburbs of Sydney, as well as the country areas, as well as the middle of Australia. Now, again, I make it clear, like I said on the last Instagram live, I'm not here to say this is what's the right thing or what's the wrong thing. We all have the right to make our own decisions in life. I'm not quite sure. When I say I'm not quite sure, I struggle with the pros and cons of vaccination. I'm not here to tell you, go get vaccinated, that's going to work. I'm not telling you to don't get vaccinated because of all the stories we hear. Again, it's up to individuals to make their own decisions, and I respect that. Likewise, I expect people to respect my choices and decisions. I made the conscientious decision to not, and I repeat, to not attend the rally that was held here in Sydney last weekend. Now, normally I would have probably possibly attended that. Over 30,000, some even estimate up to 50,000 people attended and descended on the heart of Sydney as they did in Melbourne, as they did in Queensland, as they also did overseas in other countries. It doesn't take much to Google things, and you'll see that there were simultaneous protests that took place. Protest, rally, whatever you want to call it. And what should have been technically NVDA, non-violent direct action, sadly was not. We saw a lot of violence towards the police, things that the events that I've attended in the past are not only well organised, they have a core meaning. Like, I do my research before I go. I know exactly what's going to take place. I know exactly where it's going to be, what's going to go down. Of course, you may get the one or two people that could ruin it for everyone, but that gets trampled on pretty quickly. Unfortunately, with this one, as much as I knew about it approximately 6 weeks ago, I already said to myself, a lot of the things that were being planned were premeditated. And that's, when I say premeditated, in the essence of, you've seen the images already. If you haven't, you can again search them on over YouTube or Google or any other platforms of social media. They're all out there, the images, and they can say, yes, this happened or this didn't happen. The fact of the matter is there was a lot of violence. There was a lot of property damage. There was a lot of things that, again, not associated with the other forums that I would attend, and that could be all the different things that you've either joined me in the past. So I'll make that clear right now that for me, for people, and I know, and this is where I've got to say this, I know there are people that are out there right now that are either watching the background or may even be in the live stream. I don't discriminate, I don't care. Everyone is entitled to their say, as I've always said. But there's some people that are out there that I'm going to suggest assumed that I attended the rally last weekend here in Sydney, and I did not. Absolutely not. Not my scene, not something that I ever wanted to attend, and had no intentions of attending, as I knew what the nature of the course of the night was, or the day was going to be, and that wasn't to be peaceful. That wasn't to be disruptive in that sort of essence of property damage and the amount of violence towards particular members of the public, the media, because I do this, the public, the media, and the police force on all different levels. I saw it, and it was, to me personally, absolutely disgraceful. Had I decided to attend, I would have attended again. Had I, and as I say, that make that clear, had I decided to attend, I would have attended in an independent manner. Sorry, someone's just walking by. I actually thought that was my phone on reverb. I couldn't quite hear where the noise was coming from. But because as you can see, we're in pitch darkness here. It's just after 10 o'clock at night, by the way, here, guys. So good morning, good day, good afternoon, wherever you're joining from. James, I see you there. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much. It's one of those things. I'm not going to usher anyone to press the thumbs up or press the thumbs down. I'm not here for thumbs up or thumbs down. I'm not here for views. I'm just here to say, this is what's happening with my channel. It's supposed to be all things Sydney. And I've gone very quiet in the last couple of weeks for obvious reasons. When I say obvious reasons, well, these are the reasons. The numbers in Sydney aren't getting any better. Again, I'll keep this platform as to what I can. I've always said all things Sydney. That doesn't necessarily mean all things, the happy things. I've got to show you all different sides to it. And unfortunately, we're in a really, really dark patch at the moment. And this is going to last for quite a fair bit. Now, I've read something up before. Let me just have a look here. Let me just find the information. So you saw the thumbnail. You saw the thumbnail of tonight's thing. And that's on all the business. I don't know how well this is going to focus. Oh, shocking. Can that focus on there? Closed due to government lockdown. Stay safe. That's on a lot of businesses. Well, not a lot of businesses. Every single business that's not considered essential. Petrol stations, supermarkets. Everything else is closed. You know, again, I reiterate. I made not only commitments to followers, but also lots of businesses and lots of events that I would be attending. And unfortunately, the realistic thing is I'm not going to be able to. It's just, when I say it's unfortunate, the selfish part of me says I'd love to be able to go do this and go do that and go down to Sydney Harbour right now. I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to get given a move on order. You know, we're at a point right now I know in the States, I think there's 52 states in America. I could get that wrong, but you know, each state split up into their own little suburbs. The suburb that I'm in, just like half the suburbs here, they're each now individually in lockdown themselves. We cannot even leave to go to another suburb, if that makes sense. That's how tight the restrictions are here right now. And so I'm not going to risk just, again, for views or for likes or for more subscribers. That's not my deal. So what I am going to reiterate too is two things. I've decided that I'm going to release a lot of footage that I already have up my sleeve. It was all pre-recorded before all this hit. I've been in contact with many businesses saying all the footage I've got I can't actually release because it's going to make it feel like that I've been out and about doing things and all your business is open when it's not. But the realistic thing is this could be another 3 months. It could be even longer. You know, as you would, for those that follow the footy, my channel, there'll be footy highlights weekly. That's stopped now. Even that's in trouble itself. I mean, the games change at the last minute. The locations of the games can sometimes change the day before, as we've seen happen. The whole thing's gone completely out the window. So whatever you're going to see on my channel, just remember it's all going to be pre-recorded. And when I say pre-recorded, it was done before the lockdown even occurred. So you'll see no face masks. You'll see, you know, me as it is. I mean, I actually listened to some of the footage that I've got where I'm wearing a face mask, and you can't hear anything because it's just all muffled and blah, 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 and it just sounds awful. It just sounds awful. But at the same instance, this footage I've got to release because when I say you've got to support these businesses, it's so hard to support these businesses when they're not even open themselves or they're operating on takeaway only. Click and collect type of thing. It's just awful for everyone. I feel sorry for the staff. All the staff from all these businesses, a lot of them have lost their income and found themselves in a dire situation. As I'm not going to get emotional, excuse me just for a second. We're going to leave that for the TikTok platform. You know, we can all pass blame. We can all say whose fault it is. And I believe you me, I've got my opinions on certain things. And it shouldn't have gotten to this point. It should never have gotten to this point. We had other states in similar situations. And we could foresee, a lot of people could foresee what was going on in Sydney. And in my opinion only, the government didn't act quick enough. Our state government and our federal government have failed in looking after the people of New South Wales, the people of South Australia, Victoria, Queensland, Northern Territory, Western Australia. Did I mention Queensland? I'm going to say all 6 states. The only state that's actually safe right now, as far as I'm concerned, is Tasmania. And that's a little island right down the bottom of Australia. And I hope their government looks after their people and keeps them safe from what's going on. Because it's just not right. Hope there are some foodie videos. Yes, there are. There's food videos, there's gaming videos, there's productions. There'll be all different types of things that you'll see. And this is where they were supposed to be released prior to certain events. And as my hands do the hand movement thing, those events aren't going ahead. And so I'm just sitting on all this footage going, what am I going to do? We had Vivid Festival. Now that's been postponed. That's a huge Sydney event that used to, I can use that past tense, used to attract Sorry, I'm trying to read the chat as well. Millions of people to Australia. It was a fantastic event. All the lights, it's a spectacular show like you've never seen before, and I was so looking forward to bringing it to you. Last year it got cancelled as well, and we found ourselves this year, whilst they've postponed it, I can't just see it going ahead. It's supposed to go ahead in September, but having said that, so as I've repeated again, breaking news from tonight, as of like an hour ago, our Premier, whose name is Gladys Berejiklian, female, will announce tomorrow officially there'll be a 4-week extension of the lockdown on Wednesday as the state banks on young people in Sydney's west taking up the AstraZeneca vaccine to stem surging case numbers. Premier will also on Wednesday announce an extension of the lockdown with concessions to allow construction to resume from Saturday in non-hotspot areas. Half of Sydney is a hotspot. She's got to be realistic here. And there's also rapid antigen testing for people in their final year of high school because it's affected their HSC, which is their last year for exams, etc. Things have been put on hold and delayed. Sorry, I'll cut back to here. My apologies. I'm trying to remember all these different things I wanted to say, and so before I forget, so all the businesses before I forget, thank you very much for your ongoing support as well. I really do appreciate it. And again, something else I make clear too. I don't get paid for this. These people don't sponsor me. They don't pay me. It's supporting a local business, doing things that I love to do normally. If I want to go here for lunch or here for dinner, or I want to go to this particular event, I want to do it. But I want to bring you along with me, and they get it, and it's unfortunate that for me, it's zero income loss for me whatsoever. As you know, my channel, like this, what you're seeing right now, I've said this always, and I'll continue to say it, will always be monetization free. I don't want ads, I don't want super chats, I don't want anything. I don't seek it. Likewise, I don't seek the views, I don't seek the subscribers. If you like what you see, you feel free to join. If you don't, you can move on to another channel. I'm happy either way. I'm happy with 1 view on a video. I'm happy with 100 views, and that goes for all the platforms. It's the appreciation that I just want to share back with everyone. And it's just unfortunate that I'm not in a position to be able to share that same thing at the moment. Footy, Vivid Festival, Winterfest, everything else that was supposed to happen. So we're going back to Sam Harris is agreed. Joey's well, sorry, says, sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Sorry, this is what happens. I get distracted. You know how easy I get distracted. So Joey's well says, you shared this out. Thank you very much for sharing it out, Joe, as well. I really do appreciate that. And again, this is the family-friendly version of the stream. I'll make that clear. So follow me over on the TikToks if you're over 18. I'll be a little bit more harsh and critical about what I've been discussing and our politicians, etc. Yes, no, it did make me laugh. It really did. I did not see it coming because what I did was, what did I do? I went like this, looking at the cake. Where's the cake? Where's the cake? And the next thing I know, bang! It's just where's it say? Behind the scenes. So thank you. No, thank you, Joe, as well. No, and you guys give us information as well. You share all different things, just like all the other channels we follow, as people would know, and there's other people that will join, and there's Ali Mum. So right now, there's people from all different communities that I've followed for a very long time, a very, very long time. The theme parks, there's food communities, there's the gaming communities. There's all different communities that I've been following for, when I say a very long time, for decades, some of them for decades. And so I thank you, everyone that's joining the stream, and thank you very much for just being here and listening to me have my little spiel. And as you can see, my little disclaimer down the bottom there. That's what you would normally see on one of my streams, telling people, whatever I'm telling the people, thanks for joining, but don't join if you don't want to, because, it's one of those things that people might find this a little bit confrontational for them, and I totally understand it. It can't be just all happy and roses and all, yay, excitingness, It really sucks. It really does. And I can only describe it, and not that I've ever been one, but it really does feel like prison. This is one of the few occasions when I've actually have gotten outside, and you can only go out for an hour a day, and it's really difficult. It is really difficult, especially when living in an apartment style complex, and it does feel like a prison. It really does. And I know there's other people in this chat right this very second that are in the same predicament, and not that I'm going to out them or anything, but they're in this thing, whatever's going on. When I say it shouldn't have happened, we all say shoulda, coulda, woulda. We had issues over in other states. We saw it occurring here with 1 or 2 or 3 cases, and went to 5, and it was like the alarm bells were already ringing. Our government took way too long to react and respond, and now we're in a situation where it's completely, I'll say it as it is, it's completely out of control. They keep on saying, at 11 o'clock every day now, we get a news report live. They cut it live on all channels, and all states go live between 10:30 and 11 o'clock. All states go live with their own premiers, giving their press conferences to give the daily numbers, and they've lost a handle on this. And I can say, this is my only personal thoughts, my personal thoughts. Australia had it under control for a time. There was a time when Australia had it under control, and my only personal thoughts were, we've got to stop allowing international travellers back into this country, and whether that be Australian citizens or not, anyone returning from overseas back into the country should have been in a longer lockdown period, or a longer, what's the word? They've got to do a 2-week thing, and I said to myself, that's not long enough. We've seen this strain has evolved and continues to evolve, and I do believe it's going to evolve again and again and again, just like the flu, just like cold season, it evolves. And again, my personal thoughts here, I don't encourage nor do I discourage anyone. Vaccination, it's up to you. We're getting to it feels like we're getting to a point where I heard on the news today, live from England, as we all know, England has opened up its doors to everything, lifted their restrictions completely and totally, 100%. 50,000 cases a day. Hospitals, the health system cannot cope over there with those sort of numbers. Australia is not going to cope with those sort of numbers. And they're doing it for 2 reasons. One, it's either forced vaccinations, which is slowly happening here. Now, for me personally, I'd like to make my own choices about what I want to put in my body and what I don't want to put in my body, but it's now becoming, I'll use the word compulsory in some forms of employment to be vaccinated. The staff there have no option, no choice. I personally think that is wrong. That's just me. Again, we're getting to a point, and I am going to use this word. I am going to deliberately use this word, and I'm going to say, and I've said it before, so I sort of look away and think, do I say it or not? And I just think, I don't know if the word is, are we becoming a communist country where we have to prove ourselves that we've been vaccinated? Do we have to prove ourselves that we aren't sick with, like just right now? I mean, I think it happens overseas already. We've got QR codes everywhere. You've got to scan in. Bang, bang your phone here. Scan, scan, scan. Now you've got to prove that you've either been vaccinated or you haven't been vaccinated. To travel, to go out for lunch, to go to certain events. That's the way it's going to go. And that's the way it is happening already in some instances. I personally don't agree with that. That's just me. I actually struggle with that, in fact, of being told what, when, where, how, and why. That's not a freedom that's, you know, that we've been given no choice. And we've had everything. When I say we, I'm going to use the word the globe. The globe has had everything taken away from them with what's gone on. G'day, GXR How are you, buddy? Welcome. And this, okay, an example, another one from another community that I've been in for a very, very long time, you know? And it's not, and I'll make this clear too, this is not a sob story about me, oh, poor old me in Sydney or whatever. We've all had this around the globe. There's not been one single continent, one little piece of land that has not been affected by this. And it's going to evolve, and it has evolved. It's evolved, I think, 5 times now, you know? We've gotten to the point where they no longer call it, when it first started out, it was the strain from China. Then it was a strain from the UK. Then it was a strain from America. Then it was a strain from India, you know? And they've had to change it now. And the words they're using, you know, it's now called the Delta variant, you know? There's going to be another one in a month's time, I believe, or sooner or later in 2 weeks. Probably it could have already changed. I mean, again, this is where I get back to the vaccination part. This miraculous vaccination that's appeared, as much as they're trying to push everyone, and I mean everyone onto it, whether it's the AstraZeneca, the Moderna, or the Pfizer, you know, it's that thing of, by the time it's into these people, it's going to change again. It's going to be a different variant in 2 weeks' time or 2 months' time. It's not going to even cover them, you know. And as we already know, people that have had 2 jabs of the Astra, you know, are still testing positive. Doesn't make them immune. Yes, apparently it alleviates the symptoms, not as bad, but you can still get it and you can still pass it on. So you're sticking, in my opinion, you're sticking yourself with something, you know, just almost like an intravenous thing, which was not almost like, it is an intravenous thing. You're sticking something into your arm that hasn't been scientifically proven long-term or short-term or long-term effects, side effects that is. And I struggle to think we've got all these other diseases, viruses in this world, and they've not been able to find anything to be able to cure them or alleviate them, and yet this magical inoculation thing has appeared in the last 6 months. I struggle with it. I struggle with it. And yes, Ducky, I'll put a word of disclaimer in each video. It'll be in the description. Film prior to Rona. I mean, half the videos are already uploaded. They're ready to go. And they've been sitting there because I like to be organised. I like to have everything, and it was all, everything's, you know, some like Vivid. Everything else, it's planned sometimes a year in advance in my diary. And I already know with other things, you know, when they were going to drop, when, you know. So yes, so if you're just tuning in, you are going to see things on my channel. And Daniel, I don't know if I said g'day to you, but g'day. And James as well, g'day to you. But I did say, yeah, I will, all these things that you will see on the YouTube channel, that is, have been filmed pre-lockdown, because by the time, if I wait, it's going to be completely, when I say dated, completely and utterly dated. Sydney lockdown channel, g'day, welcome to the stream. Where are you sitting outside? Where am I sitting outside? I'm assuming you possibly already know. Well, that's my guess. But welcome to the stream. Now, I don't want to lose my train of thoughts here. I'm not quite sure what else I was supposed to say. James is our best mate here in the US. Oh, well, G'day and welcome, James. This is not the most uplifting live stream you're going to see, and the visual in the background, it's not the Opera House, it's not the Harbour Bridge, it's not the Vivid Light Festival. It's darkness. It's pitch black down here. It's 10:30 at night. But this is the time that I thought, well, for me, the safest time to go out at night, and also, the safest time to go out at night was this time, and because there's going to be less people around. It's only going to be the odd person jogging past. Ducky, it is the domain. It is the domain. Ducky's on the ball there. I'm trying to think what else I was supposed to say. I've discussed the channels. Okay, so before I forget, that's the other thing. I will acknowledge and I will say thank you to the new subscribers over on the YouTubes. There's been plenty of this. I've seen the names pop up, also on the Instagrams, but especially over on the TikTok. This is what happens during lockdown. Did my little bit of my homework over the last 3 months or so, and discovered a different platform. And I've already got, I think, 2,500 people following me over there. Whilst it doesn't mean anything really in numbers, it's better than nothing. But I was very surprised in going, oh my God, that wasn't hard to get. So there will be a TikTok live after this. It will be, as I said, adults only, and that'll be in the description. And as I've noticed, the TikTok platform itself has changed demographics. It really, in my opinion, it has. It's no longer as much as you see a couple of videos here or there of all those people doing the little dances, the young kids or whatever. Not a kids platform anymore. Very much adults only. And when I say adults only, yes, kids can access it. I think you need to be, I think the rules are 13 and above to have an account, 16 years or older to go live. But I've also seen the positives and negatives, especially from those that have had a good fan base, if that makes sense, with, you know, hundreds of thousands of followers. It is a very good base to raise your social media profile. But for those that already have TikTok, you'll know what I'm talking about when you see certain things. It's not something like I've ever seen on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube for that matter. You know, there's a lot of underlying, I'll use that word deliberately, underlying things that go on in the world of TikTok, and what you necessarily see on the front is not what the whole thing is all about in the whole scheme of things. And I don't mean to be elusive here, but hence the younger demographics, it's very vulnerable. I won't use the word predatory, but I will just say I think, in my opinion, it's a very adult platform where, we'll say, for example, the dancers you see, they're all doing their funny dances, but once you get to either know them or get to read the profiles, you'll realise they're not there to dance, they're there to make money. And that's through other platforms that they'll then direct you to, and that's across the whole board. And then I sort of laugh at it, going, how very clever. TikTok has very strict rules, and there's part of me that also says that my live stream tonight, if I was on TikTok right now doing what I expect to be doing, and that's being a little bit more adult in that essence, your stream can just end automatically and instantaneously, just like on YouTube to some extent. But TikTok has got a very big reputation of just cutting into people's lives automatically for various reasons. But there's some very clever people out there that know how to work it and have got the followers, and that's good for them. But it's not all about the songs and the dances. It's a lot of, like I say, adult stuff, very much adult stuff. And as I've said to other people that may be in the chat right now, it's not a good platform for children. That's just my opinion only. I was almost going to drop a website then, and I can't say it. But, you know, and here, this part of me also says the people that are watching this are going to go, oh, I want TikTok now because I want to go see it. Don't. Just stick to things that if you're underage, if you're under the age of 16 or whatever, just, stick on YouTube, stick on the Instagram, stick on Twitter or whatever it is. The internet, we all know, has a lot of things going on. And g'day Craig's Hobbies as well. But the TikTok world is very, very, seedy. That's the correct word to use, seedy. So suddenly everyone's got a TikTok account. Good on me, Archangel. And speaking of, so I dropped a video today. We've got Australian Survivor going on right now. It started 5 weeks ago. And I made a quick TikTok about one of the particular competitors. And lo and behold, that video was shared to that particular competitor this afternoon at 6 o'clock. And they messaged me saying, thanks for that. So I was quite chuckled, or, tickled pink, should I say. And you're saying, Sydney lockdown, saying, I know exactly what you mean. And that's right. I won't use the word mafia. I won't use the word mafia at all, but it's, it's a very much an adult platform. And when you say read between the lines, you'd have to be a true fan and an only fan to be a part of it. But yeah, so I'm not quite sure what else I have to say here, really, guys. I just wanted to come on quickly and say g'day, catch up and say I haven't been live for ages. I've almost forgotten how to go live, in fact. I was like just pressing all these different buttons. But so that was your update. We see the numbers in Sydney aren't getting any better. The numbers in Australia, iffy. But content out of Sydney right now, next to zero. Nada. Everything you see on my channel from this point onwards until, another time comes when I can say, oh, this is live, and I am live. It's all been pre-recorded and it's been sitting there, and it was supposed to be released weeks ago, some of it even months ago, in preparation for other events that were due to take place that unfortunately haven't happened. And it's Joey's world. That's the thing. With TikTok, the age demographic, it's completely changed. There's so many people that are in their, I'm going to say, won't point to me, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, that are on there. Hence, it's become a very adult thing. And it's not like The Simpsons where they get away with those little, wink, wink, nudge, nudge jokes. It's definitely an adult platform. This was great, and happy to be updated. Like I told you, news is not a lot of here, so we appreciate it. Not a problem, and I wish I could give you more. I have to change my usage of words. I've stopped using the words positive or negative because having that sort of conversation in the streets now, I've got to use the words optimistic or, that type of thing. When Gladys wears an AC/DC shirt, we hit that. Well, it's not far off it, I don't think, Ducky. I really don't. Lockdown sucks, man. But things take time, but get better. Craig's Hobbies, it does. And this one's going to take a lot of time. The damage has been done, and the numbers should have gone down by now after the 5th week we're in lockdown. And there's other states that were in lockdown for a lot longer than us, but they've got it under control. Well, they did until Sydney. Sydney failed. Melbourne, Adelaide, Queensland, Northern Territory, single-handedly, no question in my mind. And I solely put that down to, again, our Premier and our Prime Minister. I really do. There's having a kid's tic-tac cigarette. Drink Jack. Yes, it takes time. It does take time. Jeez, I meant to talk of selecting kids tic-tac. God, don't get them on there, Ducky. Don't get them on there. Some funny things go on there. Yes, they do. I'm sure if it's monitored by adults, fair enough. But unfortunately, when you scroll through, you can scroll through hundreds of pages at a time, and anything can pop up. And if something captures your imagination for the right or wrong reasons, and that's when you go through the profiles, and then you suddenly realise what the gist is and what's going on. Exactly, Joe. We're at the Olympics right now, and look what's happened. And this is, again, that's also on my mind. When I say it's on my mind, it's on a lot of other people's minds too. It's going on where the people, I'm going to call it as it is. Last Saturday, not only were there rallies in Sydney, Melbourne, Queensland, around Australia, there were rallies in Japan, there were rallies in Tokyo that took place simultaneously. And if anyone else has seen the footage that I've seen, again, easily obtainable and watchable on YouTube or Google, you'll see that some of the rallies went a little bit differently, and you'll see that the police actually joined in and sided with the activists. In one of them, oh God, it's actually quite emotional to say it, but if you come across that video and you see, hundreds of police suddenly all take off their masks, all take off their helmets, and it's not them conceding. They're humans just like you and I, just like anyone. Like I've seen everyone else's live streams. I know there's human people behind those keyboards right now. I know that I've seen them. I've talked to you. I've even met you in real life, some of them, And police are real life people as well. And to see them suddenly join and say, make their stance, it was a huge thing. It was a very huge thing to see. And so with the Olympics, now that I'll get back to it, we know there's outbreaks in the village there, in the Olympic Village. We know there's outbreaks in different teams. And as I've said to other people, for me personally, again, we've got several hundred people over there representing Australia right now. Good on them, great for representing. But they've also got to return to this country. And again, this could reset us all back to zero again. Because when they fly back into the country, they've got to go back to their own home states, And this is whilst I'm on it, so we'll say this, one thing that's really annoyed me, we've got a lot of people that can only get into the country on an exemption. If I need to fly to another state right now, I need to have a really good valid excuse. And I mean a really good valid, I have to apply. I have to use these words. I have to apply to be able to have the right to travel to another state right now. That's how sad it is. That's what we've come to, And we're getting to the point where you not only have to apply, but you then have to prove you've been vaccinated, And yet, on the other flip side of things, we've got people that are overseas, that are Australian citizens, that have, for whatever circumstances they're in, they've also had to apply and been knocked back multiple times. Some of them been waiting almost 2 years to get back to this country. And yet, our government has allowed, and I'll use this word in inverted commas, celebrities to fly into this country for TV reality shows. And I can't fathom it for the life of me. Again, it doesn't take much to Google the word Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother Australia, and you'll know who some of the celebrities that were flown in only in the last 2 weeks. One was kicked out of the country within less than 72 hours of landing here. I actually don't think it was even that long. I think it was less than 48 hours. They were put back on a plane and sent back home. And again, whereas people like myself that have to do my life, we have to apply just to go into state and wait for approval. Whereas these people get flown in and get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to appear on a reality TV show. And the ironic part about it is, I'm not pointing to anyone, sorry, that's my rudeness, as I guess at my go. So wait for the TikTok live. God, you'll see me go off. So the ironic part is, this Big Brother Australia is about to be filmed as all the celebrities are in lockdown. It's about to be filmed at Sydney Olympic Park, right next door to Sydney's largest vaccination hub. This facility, this Big Brother house facility, has specifically been purposely built, and it's right next door to the largest vaccination hub here in Sydney. Again, ironic to the whole, and a slap in the face to Australians as far as I'm concerned. Yes, Ducky, that is correct. that is correct. You know, and again, it's been huge uproar again over that. Even not, you know, it's quite. It does my head in. I think we are our own worst enemies sometimes. We really, really are, and it flabbergasts me. A government, dollars, money. I'm not going to use the word corruption. I don't think we've got. When I say I've got to that point, but in this particular scenario. But other, governments around the world, yeah, there's plenty of corruption. And I'm sure there's plenty in our levels as well, but not on the scale we've seen globally. But how they've allowed permits for these people to come into this country for a TV reality series that could last 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever it's going to last, and then bugger off out of here when you've got people that have been applying to get back to their own country for over 18 months. Absolutely flabbergasts me. It really, really, really disappoints me. And again, that's me, my rant for the government. This there. Again, follow me on TikTok. Over there, I can say anything I want to. Just like on this platform, I can say anything I want to. But this platform's always been about, being cool, being chilled as such, showing all the good and the bad and the ugly sometimes, And as I've always said, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And I welcome everyone's opinion. I've always said that about if it would be Mardi Gras, it'd be the Black Lives Matter movement, or had it been another event or rally or something I've attended, feel free to have your comments. Feel free to share your thoughts and opinions. Everyone's welcome to in my chat, as long as you keep it respectful and in line with, when I say it's not derogatory as such, and that's where that's just me. Whereas I know on TikTok, I'm going to go for gold over there. I really, really am. And I have no problem with that. And that's not about just being do it gratuitously or anything like that. It's, I really want to say certain things. And for me, this platform over here on YouTube, I can build up for that. And there's, like I say, I think of all the other businesses that follow me as well, on the Instagrams, on the Facebook, and on here on this YouTube as well. I know they watch these things and they watch them afterwards, And if I'm going to be going into their business and representing their businesses, or events, we're going to keep it that way. Mind you, and I won't name them specifically, but I know they've watched before, and that was on the Instagram Live, and when I say they get it. Their doors are now shut, and I'm sure their words mirror or mimic what mine are, but only just stronger. So having said that, I just want to say thank you very much for everyone that's tuned in, just to hear what's going on. A little bit of updates. We've just got the most recent one just now that was over just only an hour old, if that. But I thank everyone very much for joining here. And again, this is Archangel, all things Sydney. The good, the bad, and the ugly, unfortunately. And I'll see you all on the streams. Oh, before I forget, one last thing before I forget. I had a list in the head. Oh, I shouldn't do that because you can see the double, triple chin. If that was Olympic sport, I'd win. But I have and I feel like I have let some people down here. There were 2 groups, and there's a couple of you in here right now. There's a couple of you in here right now that would know some of the groups that they are, and g'day to Luther the Great. Welcome and thank you for joining. And I was supposed to go on this wellness trip thing, as I do this with my hands, wellness trip, and be healthy, exercise regularly, change habits. And I was doing so well, getting 10,000 steps a day or whatever it may have been. And with lockdown, the app that I've got that shows, you do 10,000 steps, it goes up and what have you, it sort of just plateaued. The only thing that's gone up is my weight. So if you know the hashtag Team Dave, hashtag Team Dave, I've gone against the grain on that one, unfortunately, and you're only going to see this much upwards. If you ever see me on live in the next 6 months, it'll be this much upwards until things start to go down, because unfortunately, I've put on a bit of weight. When I say I put on a bit of weight, put on a bit of weight. And while I think of it, the positive is one of the followers out there, I think I've mentioned this before, Beachside Health and Fitness. Beachside Health and Fitness. I think that's I hope I've got that right. Beachside Health and Fitness have reached out to me. And I think I said this in one of my last live streams a month ago or whatever it was. We're going to help me with certain things. If they only knew, when I say if they only knew, I think so. I've worked it out. 6 pounds. 6 pounds is 2.5 kilos, I think. And that's, I shouldn't know those details, but yeah. So the suggestion is that I've put on more than 12 pounds. I'm now in triple digits in kilograms. That's not a good thing either. Not a good thing either. So I've got to get back into things, hopefully sooner or later. And yeah, but so I've got to get back into the routine of things. Teams, hashtag, who is it? Team Steve. Got to get my A into G. Team Day. Oh no, I can't even which team I'm in. That shows how bad I've been. You know. But anyway, I'm going to get off from here, guys. You stay safe. Take care. And if you are of the age and you've got TikTok, feel free to join me over on the TikToks very soon. Arkangel_Sydney, and you'll hear the same sort of spiel again in a different tone. Anyway, thank you very much all for joining. You stay safe. Take care. This is Arkangel. Bye for now. I don't remember how to end this thing. Thank you very much all for joining as well. I really do appreciate it. And big hugs to you, Joey. As I point here, Joey, you rock, mate. So do you, Daniel. Lisa, you rock. Go Fish, so do you. Keith, you're a champion. Sydney Lockdown Channel. Ducky. Who else was there? Luther. And some other people I've missed. James. And let me just think. Joe, you're there as well. Ali Mum. Tita, Mary Ellen. Marley. Can't remember the rest of them, but always stay safe and take care. Bye for now.